I've helped over 50 agency owners go to 10K a month in the space of just 6 weeks. Every single one of them followed the same structure, the same steps, in the same order. Now, if something has worked 50 times, it's not because of luck, it's because there is a proven strategy which is repeatable. You are not a special snowflake. You don't need a different strategy. You don't need to figure it out on your own. You need a structure that has already been proven and tested to work, and you need to follow it. Before we get into the structure, I need you to be genuinely honest with yourself. How long have you been in the agency space? A few weeks? A few months? Maybe some of you have been in the space for over a year. Now ask yourself the harder questions. How many clients have you actually signed? How much cash have you actually generated with your agency? And the third question, the one that nobody wants to answer, how many opportunities have you even had to sign a client? How many real conversations have you had with a potential client? If you've been in this space for weeks, for months, for almost a year, and your answer is zero, zero again, then this video is for you. Don't click off this video, stay with me. Here's what nobody's telling you. The reason you came into this space was for cash flow, time freedom, location freedom, take care of your family, leave your job. We've all heard it before, right? But look at what you're actually doing every day. You're not on calls. You're not talking to business owners. You're not signing clients. You are literally just watching videos. You're reading threads. You're building things that nobody even asked for. You're building things that nobody even is interested in. You said your goal is to get to 10K a month so that you can leave your job. Why on earth are you doing the exact opposite of what is going to get you there? And that's the gap that I want to close in this video. Now, let me give you an analogy. Most of you have either driven a car or you know someone who has. And to get a driving license, there are two different stages that you need to go through. Number one, the theory, and number two, the practical. You can study the theory, you can study the highway code for an entire year. You can know every single road sign. You can pass the theory with 100% every single time, but none of that gets you a license. None of that means you can actually drive. The license itself comes from the practical. You sit in the car, you turn the key, you drive. That's the only thing that gets you a license. But most of you watching this right now are stuck on the theory. You're saying, I need to learn everything first. I need to build the system first. I need to figure out my offer first. I need to feel ready first. But here's the thing, you will never feel ready to work with your first client. Readiness isn't something you study your way into. Readiness isn't something you learn your way into. Readiness comes from doing the thing once, pretty badly, then again, slightly less badly, and then just repeating until you get to a point where you are good at it. I have literally watched people spend 6 months building a product before they ever even spoke to a single person, before they ever even started any outreach, before they ever even initiated any conversations. They built the voice agent, they built the chatbot, they built the automations, they put in late nights, weekends. They tell their wife they're too busy to come to bed, and then they finally finish. They go into the marketplace, they find one person to work with, and everything falls apart. You know why? Because they built something based on their own validation, based on what they thought would work, based on a YouTube video they watched 4 months ago that doesn't apply to the real market. What you need to understand is you are not your customer. You do not have their problems. You don't see what they see. You have no idea what they actually need until you've sat across from them and asked. If you haven't taken any sales calls, if you haven't had any actual conversations, if you don't have any client data, you are guessing. You're literally shooting in the dark, crossing your fingers and hoping for the best. This is the exact structure that you are going to follow in order to hit 10K a month. 5 phases. Each one builds on the last. Phase number one, we are going to pick a problem. Phase number two, we are going to sign first lab rat client. Phase number three, we are going to productize your agency. Phase number four, we are going to sell the outcome. And phase number five, we are going to replicate. I want to be upfront with you. You can do these 5 phases on your own. The information is going to be on this video. I'm going to show you the ocean, but being completely transparent, I am not going to give you the boat to get across that ocean. The reason every single person who I've worked with personally has gone on to hit that target within 6 weeks. And there's a reason why you have probably been in the space for over 6 weeks, maybe a couple months, maybe over a year, and you haven't been able to get anywhere close. Now, if you want my help personally, one on one, where we will guarantee you sign 10 high ticket clients for your agency within the next 6 weeks, click on that first link in the description, book a call with me, and let's have a discussion about exactly how we can help you. If you're not going to do that, if you're not in a position to do that, join my private community where I literally give away all the systems that I'm running within my own agency right now, plug and play. And if you're not going to do either one of those things and you just want to watch YouTube videos and hope everything works out, the least you can do is join my free school community. All links will be in the description and the pinned comment below. Okay, the first thing we need to do in week one is decide what is the problem that you are solving. Not what tool you're selling, the problem that you're solving. And this is where 90% of agency owners go wrong on day number one. They pick a tool first, a voice agent, a chatbot, a receptionist, a website. Then they go looking for businesses to sell it to. That is completely backwards. And I've already broken this down in detail in another video on this channel called Stop Selling Websites, Chatbots, and Voice Agents. If you haven't watched that one, literally just watch it after this one. Click on my channel. It pairs with what we're talking about now. Anyways, in one line, businesses do not buy tools, they buy outcomes. The most valuable outcome that you can sell to a local business is more customers. That is it. That's all they pay for. That's all they care about. New customers, new revenue. Not a chatbot to handle the customers they don't have, not a website to look pretty, not an automation to organize an empty pipeline. New customers through their door, paying them money. Now, think about it. 80% of these local businesses don't even have leads coming in through the door. They're literally sitting there, crossing their fingers, hoping and praying that someone in their circle of friends or family is going to send them their next customer because they have no idea where it's coming from. When I go and search up plumbers near me, I'm not getting 1 page worth of results, am I? I'm getting 10 pages worth of results. Now, the guys on page number one are likely the guys getting all the calls. Pages 2 to 10, they're basically invisible to customers. They are not getting the phone calls. They do not have people going out of their way to contact them. A voice agent for a business that has no callers does nothing. Why would you sell a voice agent to someone on page number 8 where they don't even have any calls coming in through the first place? Selling a chatbot to a business with no website traffic does nothing. They don't have the problem your tool is built to solve. The problem they have is the one before that. They don't have customers in the first place, right? The problem they have is intrinsic. Is going to be a problem since the start of time and will be a problem till the end of time. Businesses constantly need new opportunities. And most of these guys, 80% of the market right now, struggle with this problem because the big guys on pages number 1 and 2, they're getting all the attention, all the interest, all the leads. But what about these guys right here? So in phase one, you are committing to one thing. You're going to bring local businesses, new customers. That is the offer. That is the only offer. Now, here's where everyone actually freezes up. They say, but Saeed, I haven't built anything yet. I have no case studies, no testimonials. Why would anyone want to work with me? Good question. The answer is they won't pay you up front. Not yet, not without leverage. I want you to think about it. When was the last time you, as a customer, paid a complete stranger with no track record a few $100s for anything? Never. You've never done it. So why are you expecting business owners who have been operating for a decade, who are far more sophisticated than you, who get pitched every week by someone like you to suddenly hand over their credit card? They won't. And you shouldn't try to make them. Here's what you should do instead. In phase two, you go and you find your first client on a pay per results basis. Now, here's how the conversation goes. If I find a plumber, I'm going to reach out to that plumber and say, hey, Mr. Plumber, if I'm able to bring you 5 jobs within the next 90 days on a completely paper results basis, would that be something that is interesting to you? Now, paper results framing different. Is very low friction, right? There's no risk to them. They genuinely have nothing to lose. Here's what you're really doing. You're using that first client essentially as a lab rat. It sounds harsh, but it's not, because that client is basically going to give you something more valuable than any kind of money they could have given you in the first place. They're going to give you data, real data from the real market, not from a YouTube video, from actually working with someone. You're going to test, you're going to build, you're going to run ads, run automations, try messaging, see what works. You're going to live inside their actual business and figure out what generates a customer for them. And when you crack it, when you get them their first new customer through your work, two things happen. Number one, you have a result, a real result with a real number attached. I generated this plumber 3 new bookings in 2 weeks. That's case study immediately. And number two, you now have a model. You know exactly what worked. You know which ad, you know which automation, which message, which platform. You know everything. You know what worked. And that's the foundation for everything that comes next. Phase three is where most people in this space don't even know to go. They sign their first client, get them a result, and then they go looking for client number two in a different niche with a different offer, doing it all from scratch again, which is an idiotic move. You take the exact thing that worked for client number one and you turn it into a product, a process, a repeatable system. You don't reinvent, you replicate. Now look at this. One client on the left, the exact ad that worked, the exact automation, the exact follow-up, you wrote it all down. You productized all of it. Now look on the right-hand side. There are another 100 plumbers who have the same problem, who are targeting the same customers, who have the same needs as that first plumber you already got a result for. You don't need 50 different services for 50 different niches. You need one service that you've proven works for one niche, and you sell that same one thing 100 times. This is also where most agency owners doing this alone get stuck. They got the result for one client, but they can't replicate it because they didn't track what they did. They can't tell you which ad worked. They can't tell you what the winning creative was. They can't tell you the funnel structure. They got the win and lost the formula because it was literally just down to luck. Don't be that person. Document everything in phase three. Now, by phase four, you've got something nobody else in your market has. You've got a proven system with a real client with real numbers in a specific niche. Now you can start charging real money up front. Not because you've changed what you do, you haven't. You're doing the exact same thing. Exact same thing you did for client number one. The difference is now you have leverage. Now you have proof. Now you can walk into a sales call and say, hey, here's what I did for this plumber. Here are the results. I'm going to do the exact same thing for you. Why wouldn't it work? That changes the entire conversation. The business owner isn't taking a risk on a stranger anymore. They're hiring someone with a proven track record. Look at the difference. On the left, what everyone else is charging, 297 a month for a chatbot that does nothing, easily replaceable, client churns in 2 months. You're just another vendor. On the right, what you charge with proof, 5K upfront plus recurring, you're irreplaceable. The client stays for 12 months or more. You are essentially their growth partner. You're the same person with the same skills with different positioning. 5 to 20 times the price. The price comes from the proof. Get the proof first, and then the price follows. Now, phase five is the simplest phase and also the most boring. You've got the offer, you've got the proof, you've got the productized service, the system works. Now you sign client number two with the same offer, in the same niche, with the same service and the same delivery. Then clients number three, then clients number four, then clients number five. You don't change anything. You don't get clever, right? You don't try and switch to a new niche because you got bored. You don't switch up the offer because you saw a YouTube video. You repeat what is already working. This is exactly where the 10K a month happens. Not in phase one, not in phase two, in phase five. By the time you've signed 4 to 6 clients on a productized offer with proof behind it, You are at 10K a month. Most people I work with hit it inside 6 weeks because once phase four is locked, phase five is just a numbers game. 5 phases: pick the problem, sign the lab wrap, productize, sell the outcome, and repeat. Here's the part that most YouTube videos are not going to tell you. I just gave you the structure. You could close this video right now and try to do it yourself. And I'm telling you this honestly. Most of you who try are going to fail. Not it does. I've watched 50 plus people use it. You're going to fail because of what's not in the structure. Look at this on the left. What you now know, pick a problem, sign a lab wrap, productize, repeat. You've got the what, right? But on the right hand side, you still have no idea which problem in your specific market is actually the most valuable to solve. What to actually say to a business owner to get them on a paper results basis, what to track in phase three so you can productize correctly, how to consistently sign clients without spending 4 hours a day in the DMs. This is the gap. Knowing the structure is the theory. Knowing how to execute the structure in the real market with real business owners, with real conversations, with real ad budgets, and real follow ups is practical. It's the practical test. And the practical is where everyone fails alone. Now, Pauline tried this on her own for a year. She spent $15,000 on courses, got nowhere. Worked with me and signed her first client in 3 days. Same person, same intelligence, same work ethic, different structure, different proximity, different speed. All we needed was 3 days. Gabe, for example, software engineer, full time job. He's already got a wife, got kids, works on his agency 5 hours a week. He's at 30K a month recurring right now. He didn't figure it out alone. He followed the same 5 phases I just showed you with someone walking him through it. Or holds weight, right? Closed his first 2 clients in 48 hours. These are not special people. They followed a structure. They had someone close to them who'd already done it 50 plus times. They didn't have to guess and figure it out on their own or watch a YouTube video and hope for the best. Now, if you're at this point, there's literally one thing left for you to do. And obviously, if you made it this far, you know exactly what I've taken you through in this last 20 or so minutes is the truth. And there is literally no other game plan that you should be going through in order to get to your first 10K a month. You just don't know exactly what you need to get there. Now, when you work with me one on one directly, we will literally guarantee that you sign 10 high ticket clients worth 5K each within the next 6 weeks. That's a 50K pipeline within the next 6 weeks, literally guaranteed. Click the link in the description and book a call with me one on one so we can break down what that would actually look like when you work with us one on one. If you want access to just my private tools, my systems, snapshots, training guides, stuff like that, you can get access to that inside of my private community. And if you're not going to do either one of those things, if you really are just a YouTube bandit who just consumes free content and hopes for the best, the least you could do is join my free school community where I'll be dropping a ton more updates, systems, SOPs just like this. Peace.